Hello, students. Welcome to this English course. This is a virtual English course of UNIMINUTO. I am going to be your English teacher, so it's a pleasure to meet you in this first session. Um, as you know, this is the first session, but I have to apologize because I could not communicate with you before because I had some problems with the platform. So I'm going to show you the agenda for this first session. Let's start with an introduction. I'm going to introduce myself. I'm going to tell you my name and personal information about me. Second, I'm going to talk about the methodology of the course. Then we are going to talk about the assessment of the course. After that, I'm going to show you the activities that you will have to do during the course. After that, it's important that you know the virtual exercises because it's the exercise that you have to do. And I'm going to talk about the communication between you and I. And finally, if you have some questions, I can answer all your questions as soon as possible. Okay, let's start with the introduction. This is my full name. Jesus Augusto Prada Pico is my name. This is my institutional email, jpradapico at uniminuto@edu.com. With this institutional email, you can contact me. You can write any message if you have a question, if you have a doubt, if you have any suggestion about the course. It's a pleasure to answer you as soon as possible, and I am there for all of you. Okay, let's start with the methodology of the course. As you know, this is a class or this is a course 100% virtual. In this course, we have exercises that you have to do, you have activities, and finally the exams that they are very important. What about the values of these activities and exercises and exams? So as you know, as every course, virtual or presential, you have three terms. The first term is 35%. The term number two is another 35%, and finally the term number three is the other 30%. Okay, let's talk about the term number one and two, and then I'm going to talk about the term number three because the term number one and two is a little different to the term number three. Okay, let's talk about the assessment. As I told you, we have some activities that you will have to do. For every term, you will have to do two activities. I mean, for the term number one, you will have to do two activities, and every activity has a 5%. Exercises, the exercises that you will have to do in the platform, they are virtual exercises and they include vocabulary, grammar, listening, reading, and the idea of this exercise is that you have to answer some questions, you have to listen some videos and answer the questions about the video. You have to complete some sentences in order to complete the grammar, in order to correct the structure of the sentence. Anyway, I'm going to explain you about that later. And finally, the test. You will have a test, a virtual test per term. I mean, in that case, as you have three terms, so you have one test per term, so you will have three tests. The percentages for activities is 10%, for exercises is 11%, and the test 14%. So if you calculate the three percentages, you will have 10% plus 11%, 21%, and 14% is 35% for the term number one and the term number two. And the term number three is a little different, as I told you before. Why? Because, okay, the activities are the same. Two activities per term. And every activity is 5%. The exercises, as I told you, they are virtual, vocabulary, grammar, listening and reading, and the test is one test per term. This is the same for the term number one and two, but the difference are the percentages, because it is only 30%. So activities has a 10%, in activities is the same, they don't change, But at the end, in the exercises, you will have only the 8% for the virtual exercises. And finally, the test of the turn number 3 is 12%, no 14%, as in the turn number 1 and 2. Okay, this is about the assessment. So you will have to do three important activities, or three important, you will have to account three important elements during the terms. Activities, exercises, and tests. Okay, so let's talk about the activities or aulas virtuales. I'm going to click here on the link, and here you can find the platform. In this part, you have a welcome, and you can see some information about the course in level 1, I mean English 1. Course general information. This is very important that you read. And here in this part, you will have the scheduler calendar, and you can find the activities schedule. And this is very important because if you open this PDF, you can find all the activities that you have to do during the semester. So in the first term, you will have activities and virtual exercises and the test, and you can see the dates when the activity starts and when the activity finishes. So you can see everything in this calendar, in this table. Okay, let's continue with the platform. I'm sorry, I'm going to come back here. Okay, as I told you, this is the first term, the second term, and the third term. This is for games, for some activities that you can do, but I'm not going to evaluate this, but I mean, they are resources for you, additional resources for you. In the first term, you can see two units, Unit 1 and Unit 2. In the second term, you will have other two units, Unit 3, Unit 4 is here, and in the third term, you will have Unit 5 and Unit 6. Okay, I'm going just to explain about the first term. In the first term, the Unit 1 has some exercises, resources, guides that you can do. But the most important for me, okay, this is the forum. My favorite celebrity is something that you can do is in order to know about your favorite celebrity. But the most important are these: the activity and the exercises. Remember in the presentation that I say in this part. Let me come back again here. The activities and the exercises. So as I told you before, to have the activity number 1 and the exercises, the virtual exercises. So in the activity number 1, you will have to do the first presentation. And this activity is about personal information, your personal information. So what do you have to do? In that case, you will have to record, I mean, with the camera of the computer or with your cell phone, and you have to say your personal information. For example, in my case, I can say, hello, teacher, my name is Jesus. My last name is Prada. I am 33 years old. I am from Bucaramanga. I am Colombian. I live in Piedecuesta. I am a teacher. I am married and I have two sisters, and my hobby is singing and dancing and going to the cinema. So they are personal information about me. And you record your video, and then you can send the video to the platform. You can upload the video to the platform. This is the activity number 1. I need to evaluate your speaking. I mean the pronunciation, that you have fluency with your speaking, etc. That's it for the activity number 1. And be careful because this activity, sorry, I'm going to come back again. This activity has a date. So that in here, in this part, as you can see, the activity start on February, the activity finished on February the 24th. So today is February the 14th. So you have 10 days to record your video and upload the video to the platform. Okay, this is about the activity. And now the exercises. For example, the exercise about vocabulary. So you click here and you can see the first exercise is about numbers, the cardinal numbers. So you click here, previsualizar el cuestionario, and you have to answer some questions about the numbers. So you can see this video, it's an explanation, and then you can answer the questions. It's very easy. It's a simple mathematic course. So they are the exercises that you have to do during the term. And in every term, you have to do some more exercises, some more virtual exercises. Okay, so these are the exercises of the term number one. I'm sorry, the exercises of the unit number one, and these are the exercises of the unit number two. So these exercises and these exercises are of the term number one. And as I told you before, in the term number one, you have two activities. So here is the activity number one, and in here in the unit number two is the activity number two. This is for the term number one. And you have to do the same in the term number two or second term, because you will find in the unit three, you will have the activity three and the exercises for the unit three. In the unit four, you will have the activity number four and the exercises of the activity of the unit number four. So these exercises and these exercises are of the unit of the term number two, and the same for the term number three. Two activities more, exercises in the unit number five and in the unit number six. Okay, I hope you don't have any questions so far, but as I told you, you can ask me any questions when you have a doubt, when you have any problem. Don't hesitate to contact me. Okay, let's come back to the presentation in here. Okay, these are the link for the activities, the virtual exercises. I already explained that. Okay, the communication between teacher and student. Okay, we have three ways. The first way is through my institutional email, jpradapico@uniminuto.edu.co. So if you have any questions, you can enter to your email and you can write, teacher, I'm sorry, I don't understand, teacher, I have some problems with the activity number one, the activity number two, and I can't write as soon as possible, and maybe I can solve your problem. Okay, the second way to contact me is through the platform. As you know, you have Messenger, and in the message of the platform, you can write, and I can solve all your doubts or any question that you have. And finally, this is it could be a minute. I mean, I know that this is a virtual class, but if you want to talk to me face to face, we can organize a meeting. And I am in Pachas on Saturdays from 12 to 1 p.m. So I repeat, I am in Pachas. I didn't write I'm sorry, I didn't write Pachas, but I am in Colegio de la Santísima Trinidad, alias Pachas, from 12 to 1 p.m. When? I didn't write, but on Saturdays. On Saturdays, I am in Pachas from 12 to 1 p.m. And you can write, for example, on Friday, you say, teacher, I need to talk to you personally. So I am in Pachas, and we can, okay, we'll see you 12 in Pachas. But remember, on Saturdays. Okay, let's continue, but I think it's old, that's old. So this is the part of the question. So if you have any question, remember, don't hesitate to contact me. Any questions. I am the tutor, so the idea of this course is that you can ask me any question when you have any problem, and I can answer the questions as soon as possible. That's it for today. So thanks. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm going to create another video, maybe for the turn number two. These are, I mean, the summarize of the turn number one. Remember to do the activities, the activity number one and the activity number two. I'm going to explain for the activity number two maybe in 1 week, in 7 days. But first, please do the activity number one. It's about personal information. And please do the exercises, the virtual exercises. They are very, very, very important. Okay, bye bye. Have a good day.